Hi everybody, my name is Kino. Welcome back to my channel. Let's cook something. Today we are making a really nice wrap that I saw on Instagram. It looks magical. It's very filling, very healthy. It's got cauliflower, chickpeas, and red onions as the main components of the dish. So let's get started. You will need red onions, any vinegar of your choice, some limes, just two was enough, plain yogurt, some coriander, fresh or powdered, and then you need thyme, crushed chilies, and garlic salt. Then you can use some normal chickpeas. I used canned chickpeas, salt, any hot sauce of your choice. I chose this one. Cauliflower, some garlic too, with little chilies, and then oil, flour, and mayo. Now, step one is to create your quick pickled onions. How do you do this? You just take onions. I used half a red onion. You're more than welcome to use more. Just your ratios will be different. You're gonna take half a red onion, clean it. It took me a while, I won't lie, it's embarrassing. But it did take me a hard second to clean this onion. Then once you got your onion cleaned, you're gonna slice it up with your incredible knife skills. I do not have such knife skills. So it takes me a second. Yeah. Chop up your onion. You want thin slices. If it's too thick, it's not really going to have that pickled taste and it's going to be very crunchy. But that's a decision you can make on your own. I chose thin slices because that's how I like it. We're going to put it in a bowl. Then to this bowl, you're going to add about 3 tablespoons of your vinegar. Put the bowl down. Put the bowl down. Yeah. 3 tablespoons of your vinegar. Remember, you can choose anyone. I just chose white because that's what we have at home. Then you're going to add salt. Salt to taste, obviously. There's no ratio. Just add what you think you need. You add some garlic also to your taste. Just get some garlic in there. And then I forgot to add coriander on the video, but add some coriander. And then you're going to take the juice of one lime, one whole lime. Just straight up squeeze it in there. If you have lime juice already, you can obviously use that. And if you want to add the zest too, you can. I opted out of that option. But obviously the lime had other ideas. And that is it. You're going to put it in the fridge. Next up, you need to wash your cauliflower. I'm using cauliflower from a package. It's very easy for me. Just cut open the bag, put it in the colander, and then give it a good wash. I also need to strain my chickpeas from the can. Just literally just strain out the brine and give it a good rinse so it's not so salty. Next, you need to chop up your cauliflower into bite-sized pieces. These pieces were still too big in the end, so I had to basically mash it up more when it was done roasting in the oven. So just cut it up small enough. I thought I did, but I did not. Just cut it up. I can't stress this enough. Just cut it up to a small enough size. And also, I'm just going to throw in your chickpeas with the cauliflower at the same time. Save energy. You're going to douse this in oil, like an ungodly amount of oil, and sprinkle on some salt. And that is it. You're going to give it a good mix and then preheat your oven to 200 degrees on both top and bottom. And then you're just going to put that whole tray in the oven at 200 degrees for 20 minutes. While that's busy roasting in the oven, we are going to get started on making the dough for the actual wrap. For this, you just need 3 ingredients: your plain yogurt, flour, and some salt. So in a mixing bowl, you're going to mix equal parts of flour to yogurt. I used 1 cup of cake flour. You can use self-rising flour. I just didn't have it at the time. So 1 cup of cake flour to roughly 1 cup of yogurt. You are going to end up using more flour later on with the kneading because the yogurt is so sticky. But because the yogurt has so much moisture, it makes the dough really nice and soft and chewy. So 1 cup of flour to 1 cup of yogurt, and then you're going to sprinkle in salt. I'd say about a teaspoon of salt. And then you're just going to knead it up with your hands. And then 10 minutes later, you'll have a beautiful dough ball like that. Now you're going to cover it up and put it in the fridge to rest. By then, your cauliflower and chickpeas are done roasting for the first time. You're going to add more oil. Then you're going to sprinkle on some spices, specifically garlic salt and thyme. Just add as much as you want, and as much as you feel is necessary. And then you're going to mix it up. Mix it up really well so all the spices are nicely distributed between the tray. And then you're going to put it back in the oven, back on 200 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes, or as long as you think is necessary. This is when it should go golden and crisp up. It's your final roasting. Just put it back in the oven. Next up, to make your sauce, to a blender. Any blender really. This is just the one I have on hand. You're going to add a 1/4 cup of coriander, fresh coriander specifically. About a 1/4 cup of fresh coriander. Just add what you want, man. It's your sauce. Do what you want. You're gonna add coriander, then you're gonna add a 1/4 cup of mayo, any mayo of your choice. This is just the one I had on hand, so that's what I used. A 1/4 cup of that mayo. You can add more, you can add less. The sauce is literally just make it your own, man. Also, if you spray your measuring cups with oil or cooking spray, it won't stick as much. I clearly did not do that. But anyways, next you're going to add 1/2 cup of plain yogurt. So 2 1/4 cups. I'm very sorry. It was very, very messy. But that's okay. It's really okay. Finish up with your yogurt, and then you're going to add 1 tablespoon of the hot sauce. Any hot sauce of your choice, really. You can add more, you can add less, do what you want. The sauce is really yours. It's no big deal. I don't care what you do. You're going to add that hot sauce in, then you're going to throw in 2 whole chilies. You can add more, you can add less. Like I said, I don't care what you do. Just take that green part off, and then you're going to add the juice and the zest of 1 lime. I had camera difficulties, so you're not going to see that. But yeah, I did that. And then you're just going to blend it all together. Make sure it is blended together nicely. If it's too thick, add water. Otherwise, you're basically done. It's a sauce, not supposed to be difficult at all. By this time, your dough has rested enough. It's been in the fridge this whole time. It is fully hydrated. It's ready to be turned into those delicious wraps. So first up, you need to oil the surface that you're going to be working on. The dough isn't that sticky, but it's still got some grip. So just use the oil. Then you're going to start shaping it with your hands like I'm doing now. Just make it into a ball, roundish shape. Then you're going to divide it. I divided it into 4 pieces because I feel like that's a nice size. Obviously, you can divide it into more or less depending on what you want. I just think 4 is a pretty good size. Then you are going to shape each ball individually into a circle like that. And then you're going to use your hands, flatten it out a little bit so it's easier to roll out. When you're rolling out, you're literally just making it as thin or as thick as you want and as big as you want. I like to roll mine out super thin because it tends to thicken up as it cooks a bit. Not that much because it's a piece of bread, but it does thicken up to a nice size. So I roll it out really thin, and I like it to be oval, not a circle, because I feel like that's a good wrap shape, you know? Once it's rolled out and shaped, it's ready to be cooked. So you want to get a hot pan with nothing in, and you're just going to place that dough on. As it cooks, it's going to go kind of translucent-ish for a bit, and then it's going to go like a white color. That's how I know it's cooking. Just give it a couple of minutes on each side, and yeah, just wait. Now's the time to wait. You can't really rush it, or else you're gonna be left with a raw piece of dough. But yeah, this is what it looks like when it's done. It'll be golden brown on each side. It'll puff up a little bit. And yeah, that's literally it. It's done. Now it's time to plate. For assembly, you're going to take that wrap. Please don't burn yourself like I did. It actually hurts a lot. But yeah, get your wrap on the plate, and then you're going to put some of that sauce on. You can add as much or as little sauce as you want. Once again, I don't care. Make it how you want it. And then after your sauce, you're going to add your filling. It's the roasted chickpeas and cauliflower that are seasoned with garlic, salt, and thyme. Going to put as much as you want on there. I was very hungry, so kind of stuffed it. Yeah. And then you're going to add on your quick pickled onions. You're just going to sprinkle as much as you want. It added a nice texture, so I would recommend it. Don't skip it, but you don't need to add that much. Like that was fine. Looks like a lot, but it's actually not. You could have added more, could have added less. Once again, I do not care. And I sprinkled some red chili flakes on top, and I also sprinkled some more of that amazing sauce on top. Just a little bit because I didn't want it to be too soggy, but I also wanted it to have enough flavor because I had my doubts, honestly. But it looks incredible. Time for a taste test. Now, it was still very hot, and I was really burning my fingers because that wrap is so hot. But it is so amazing. I had my doubts about this recipe, but it was actually really, really good. And I really suggest you guys make this. Goodbye.